Why'd you have to stick your nose in?
'Cause things can't go on like this. All this anger. You gotta forgive.
Why?
'Cause it's the right thing to do.
A Christian thing, yeah?
He's your own flesh and blood. If you leave it too late, you'll regret it. I know.
Why can't you just let sleeping dogs lie?
'Cause eventually they wake up. Well,
Not wasting your time.
all it takes is for the pair of you to put your differences aside. Is that so
Well,
hard?
sometimes, yeah, I think it is.
Nothing is unforgivable.
Well, you believe that, don't you?
I think you should be able to turn the other cheek.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work out that way. The return of the prodigal, it don't always work out. Sorry. Maybe going away for a couple of days.
What, for the kids?
Can't go wrong with a good book, can you?
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just surprised, that's all.
Just a little something for the holidays.
That's very kind of you.
Oh, didn't I say? No, they're not from me. They're from their grandfather.
Oh, right. Well, I'm not
Very
sure.
insistent he was.
Really?
He had such a nice time with them last week.
But why? I mean,
As he says, if you can't spoil your grandchildren, who can you spoil?
What was...
I know what happened. You know, with your mother. Jim and me, we don't have no secrets. He's told me everything.
Yeah, I bet. The old sob story.
There's nothing you can tell me.
Why they married young. No, he didn't really love her. It was his fault, but it was just one of those tragic things that happened in those days.
Well, yes, but it was tragic. Because people nowadays, you know, they don't realise what it was like with their quickie divorces and they're living in sin. But in them days, you know, there was such a thing as duty and sticking by one another.
Yeah. Till death do us part.
I know my husband.
Do ya? Well, he tells a good story, I bet. I mean, the only trouble is that he only speaks for himself. So he speaks for Renee, that's what I'm wondering. Who speaks for my mum? Do you want to take a guess what it was like actually living in that house?
Jim's told me.
Oh, really? How'd he do that then? He weren't there?
He
weren't there when Mum dived into the bottle because it's the only way she could get through the day. Or when the moods came, yelling, lashing out. Oh, and then the hugs and the smells like booze and cheap scent. The tears. I mean, you got any idea how scary it is to see your mum cry? He tell you all about that, did he?
He's a good man. He's made mistakes, but he's sorry. Can you say the same?
Did he tell you about the bath?
What?
I don't think so. It was his mum's birthday. Dad didn't show till about 9. Been down the boozer, but he must have remembered what day it was because he got her a present. Bottle of bourbon. She's an alcoholic and he buys her that. When he gave it to her, he laughed. He said now she could have a party, just her and the bourbon. Then he went. Sometime later, she ran herself a bath. She must have had most of the bottle. Maybe it seemed like a good idea. She took her clothes off and fell in, only she'd forgotten to turn the cold tap on. Must have had a tank full of hot water in there. If I close my eyes, I can still hear her scream. I had to get her out. She was red. Her whole body was red. I was only a kid. I mean, what did I know? I tried to look after her until the ambulance came. I wrapped her in a towel and sort of held her in my arms. While she whimpered like a dog. My mum. 4 days. She was in hospital 4 days before he bothered to show up. And do you know the first thing he did when he saw her? He told her he was docking her allowance for the hot water she'd wasted. Oh. You got yourself a hell of a catch there.
I didn't know.
No, you don't like me, Doc. That's fine. You think I'm cruel and selfish and unforgiving, maybe. But ask yourself this. Why do you think that is?
What's this in, Ada?
Hey? Oh, I'm doing lunch, my love. One of my cauliflower specials.
What's special about it?
You can eat it. Look, I think I owe you an apology. I was a bit hasty earlier on.
I spoke to Max.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't be wasting too much time with him. There's no getting through to some people. Sad, stuck in the past. Bit of bacon, that'll give it a bit of oomph.
If you like.
I didn't know he was so bitter and twisted. Never used to be. Just goes to show, doesn't it?